Hello, everybody. Welcome to Grounded Roots Healing. I am still Jason, and today I want to talk about giving away your power, or not giving away your power, if you can find the wisdom to not do it. And I'm thinking about this right now because I've recently, it's become time, I guess, on this journey for me to approach this subject, to truly understand what I mean by that. So I have a new microphone. Hopefully this is actually working. It's amazing what you can get nowadays for $35 off Amazon. But yeah, plug and play Bluetooth uh, wireless microphone for $35 delivered to your door with two microphones, and it plugged in and worked immediately. And it does sound pretty good. I hope it works out. I got a comment on one of my videos that you couldn't hear me, and I do charge the car quite often, so I thought it may be wise to get an external mic, and we'll see how that works. Okay, so this is a really difficult subject to not only explain, but to actually enact in your life. Because you're only going to be able to do this when you have all the confidence that you need. And in order to not give your power to anyone, you have to understand that you are a God. You are. You are the writer of your entire story and everything that happens to you. You're not kind of like a God. You are a God. When you understand this, you then understand that there can be no mistakes, that none of this is happening by accident, and that whatever level of understanding you're at right now, puppy, hi puppy, oh, like a stray dog, whatever level of understanding you're at right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. Exactly. So we all do this, every one of us, until we realize this. We give our power away. We don't understand how powerful we are. Like, really understand. So when I had my three-day enlightenment period, I knew I was God, without a doubt. And now I understand why you could have spit in my face. You could have done anything to me, because there was literally no way for you to convince me that every single thing that was happening to me was not of my own doing. Even the bad stuff. I had supreme knowing. I was unshakable in my faith that I was God. Just like you are God. You are. You all are. Anyone who's watching this. Yes, this is a simulation, in a sense. Yes, it's hard to tell where the other conscious beings and the simulation start and stop. extremely hard. So that is the problem. This place is designed to fool gods. Do you really think you're going to just figure it out on your own? It's designed to fool gods. Us. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. This is why these awakenings occur spontaneously. They occur when you decided that it was going to occur. So, this is so difficult to describe and make sound comprehensible. It sounds insane. And I think unless you've seen some of this, you're not going to understand what I mean. And not I think. That has been the bane of my existence. Trying to get people to understand what I can see. So, okay, let's regroup here. Let's try this again from a different angle. So I had a dream the other night. I had a dream. These are also planned. There's a lot of information in your dreams, but you'll only remember them if you're intended to remember them. If you intended yourself to remember, so as that you get some information from it, and that this simulation starts to reveal itself to you bit by bit by bit. Okay, so the dream, it was a strange dream, but I understand exactly what it was designed to teach me or show me. And essentially, we were driving with family next to this lake, doesn't matter where, and we got out to use the washroom. And when I walked up to the shoreline, there was an open cell phone with foreign writing in Google translated into instructions to wipe a phone, and it was just ridiculous. So instructions to wipe a phone. There was a lighter on the ground next to it, and there was like terrorist text messages back and forth, translated into English. And I looked at the phone. I was like, "This is a terrorist phone, obviously," and they failed to dispose of it. Somehow the phone was open and still able to be looked at, and didn't lock. That's how incompetent these terrorists were. And, and in my dream, these aren't real. And I showed it to the other people around me, and nobody would believe me. I'm like, yeah, but I mean, come on. I mean, you didn't have to be a detective to see what was going on, yet nobody would believe me. You see what the whole point of that was? It was to show me that it doesn't matter how much I try, if you're not ready to listen to me, no matter how clear I make the evidence, you're not going to hear this. Okay, so we get back to, this has been my problem, and I get frustrated quite often with people not understanding or believing what I'm saying. But that is the point. It doesn't matter what anyone else believes. It makes no difference. You're not going to believe me. If you're not ready to believe me, you won't. And I need to stop wasting my breath and just speak my truth. So speaking my truth, this is my truth. The stuff that I've been putting in all of these videos, this is me. This is my level of understanding right now. And it's growing. This is not stagnant. This never stops. Ever, 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 ever. Never stops. You're going to keep learning about this stuff as long as you planned yourself to learn about this stuff. And until the day you die, likely. And it's going to be fluid. So the awakening process does not happen all at once. And I've said this before, but it's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back process. And it's a unveiling of the truths. You're not figuring anything out, so don't get too excited. You're getting shown things. And if they showed you what I now know to be true, what my truth is right now, from zero, you would go crazy. It's too much for the human mind to handle. It's what leads to nihilism and people thinking that they're God and going around and screaming from the rooftops. All of this is, again, I go back to this, but it's all happening at the right time. So anyone who does this, it's for you. It's a show for you. Maybe those people aren't even real that are doing this. Maybe those people are part of the simulation. Maybe they're not, and they wrote that into their story because they didn't want to be believed, and they wanted to seem crazy so that no one they'd feel alone, like I often do. Even when I think I'm getting my point across to people, it just seems so hard to tell because you can only experience what's outside of you through these little lenses and these touch things. You can't be inside someone else's head. At least I can't. Maybe some can. Where does the simulation start and stop? These questions, when you start to see it, like I said, if you did learn all of this at once, it would drive you insane. It's like the cognitive dissonance that I was suffering from, not being able to see the evil that was done to me as for what it was when I was a kid. I had to see it as, oh, it wasn't so bad, and then it was revealed how bad it was at another level, and then that had to be dealt with, and then your brain would let you see even more. So you have this cognitive dissonance where the truth keeps getting unveiled to you, but layer by layer, never all at once. So we're all on these paths of awakening from zero to the grave, I guess. And each time you go up this, they reveal new truths to you. You pull another layer off. So you're never done. But wherever you are on this path, that is your truth at that time. Because I may be farther up than you. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm further down. And it doesn't give me the right to say you're wrong. You are not wrong. You are 100% correct for where you are right now. So, this gets me to giving our power away. We give our power away when we put another person on a pedestal. Why in God's name would you do that? They are gods, so are you. You may just be farther down on the escalator of enlightenment, let's say. So your truth is not wrong. It's just not as high as theirs. And they don't know everything because there is no one here who is at the top of the escalator. There's no one down here that's all the way at the top. This is what happens. You find spiritual teachers who are farther up the escalator, who seemingly know more than you about all of this stuff. And then you grab onto, oh yeah, like 95% of what they're saying is 100% true. But the 5% does not align with what you will understand in the future. There is no one person to put up at the top of that. There is no one religion. There is no one anything. It's an amalgamation of what you figure out, what you believe to be true right now. If you're at the point in your awakening journey where you can't even see that this is a simulation, you won't believe me. But when you first wake up, you first wake up to that idea and you start to believe that, yes, this is a simulation. Then you start to, normally, this is the progression, you start to think, well, maybe I can manifest in this simulation. Maybe I can change things. Maybe I'm still in charge. And it progresses. And no amount of me telling you, no, you're not in control. This is a movie, go along for the ride, is going to matter. You're just going to have to experience it for yourself because you are God. No one would have told me different at any point on my awakening journey. And I know I can't do that to anyone else. Don't take my word for it. I am not the Messiah. I'm not the one who knows how everything works. I am someone on an awakening journey saying my truth right now. And that is all. That is all anybody is on this. I've been recently had some messages stating that I was evil or a liar for stating some of the stuff I do in my videos. Because this person was a devout Christian and believed that the only answer was through that book and that set of teachings. Or it was part of the simulation testing me. More likely. But these people do exist. And they are at a point in their awakening journey where they need something concrete to hold on to. It's all part of the awakening journey. There is no point where you're not on it. That is where they're at. Meet them where they're at. So I said, I disagree, and I send you love. And that's all that requires. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks, because you are God. And then I've watched I watch a lot of people in this space who are perceivably higher up the levels than I am. And I see their spiritual egos. Wow. Some of them are massive. I won't say any names. But they're so convinced by the illusion at this higher level that they can't see that they've been fooled and duped. And that they're trying to grab onto something concrete. This doesn't stop. There is no end. Because it makes sense to you right now does not mean you've reached the end of this escalator. Or that you're right at all. You may be very humbled. So, I think that's where I'll leave it. The only person that I've seen that doesn't do any of this, not the only, but one of the main ones is Eckhart. Eckhart Tolle. It's always go back to the breath. It's always go back to consciousness. Always go back to the present moment. And that is the answer. The rest of this is just for our amusement. I think that's where I'll leave it. So, like I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all. And we'll see you tomorrow.